So today, I kind of want to talk about two things. One being the whole Jadeveon Clowney trade situation, trade rumors, whatever you want to call them. Two being the whole Kalil contract situation thing. Now, let's start off with the Clowney trade rumors situation. The rumors you are hearing are fake. 100% fake. I mean, literally some guy on Twitter, Chad Forbes, NFL Draft Bites is his Twitter handle. He just tweeted out a thing about the Texans not wanting a long-term deal with Jadeveon Clowney. And Texans fans saw it and they just ran with it. I mean, seriously, if you go to this guy's Twitter page and scroll through all the tweets, pretty much everything he tweets out ends up being wrong. Now, I'm pretty sure if you look hard enough, you can find some things that are true, but you know how that saying goes. Even a broken clock is right twice a day, you know? And just because this guy has 15,000 Twitter followers doesn't mean he's a reliable source. He's straight up not a reliable source. I mean, I could literally start tweeting random stuff out, like today, and then I'd probably get some followers. Would that make me a reliable source? No, because I don't have any inside info. I just be tweeting random stuff out and hope that I'm right. That's what this guy's doing. Don't believe those rumors because they're just not true. Now, as far as trading Clowney goes, this is not a Clowney contract video. I've already made that video before, but I will say this about the Clowney contract. The contract I suggested for Clowney back then is way different from the one, he's probably going to get because, teams like to overpay for players like Trey Flowers, and then you have DeMarcus Lawrence over there that wants to be paid more than Kalil Mack, even though, but that's okay because that's just how the NFL works. That's just how it is. Players get paid more than the previous player that got paid at that position. That's just how it works. And I also feel like a lot of Texans fans don't want to pay Clowney a good chunk of money because he hasn't reached J.J. Watt production level. And I mean, how many of these guys that have been paid since J.J. Watt signed his contract back in 2013 have reached J.J. Watt production level? None. Maybe just Aaron Donald, but for the most part, none. Kalil Mack, nowhere near J.J. level. Von Miller, nowhere near J.J. level. What J.J. Watt was doing back then is still unheard of. Aaron Donald's the only guy who comes close to J.J. Watt's level of dominance. There's not a single guy that deserves a J.J. Watt contract, if we're being honest, but guess what? A bunch of people got a bigger contract than J.J., and that's just how it is. Now, would I trade Jadeveon Clowney? Well, my answer to that is not right now. I don't think the Texans can afford to lose Jadeveon Clowney this offseason. Why? Okay, look. The Texans, we already know this. Obviously, they need an offensive tackle. They need corners. We already know that. So if you trade Jadeveon Clowney, what can you get for him? Let's just say a first-round pick and, I don't know, a second-round pick. Let's just throw that out there. Say you get that for Jadeveon Clowney. Okay. So now you can get an offensive tackle and a corner. But now you have another hole at edge rusher. You're just creating another hole for yourself, and you can't rely on a rookie to come in here and do what Clowney does. That's just unrealistic unless, you get a once-in-a-generation type talent. But in this draft where we're picking, we're not going to find one. So I think that's the reason why we can't trade Clowney right now. I don't think we're in a position where we can create these other holes for ourselves. Now, my other reason behind it is because what if J.J. Watt gets hurt? Okay, say you trade Jadeveon Clowney. Jadeveon Clowney's out of the picture. J.J. Watt is your guy up front, the guy that dominates the game and does everything. Say, Lord forbid, J.J. Watt gets hurt. What happens now? Your front seven would probably suck. Because, look, we've seen J.J. Watt carry that front seven on his own. We've seen that. We've seen Jadeveon Clowney do that as well in the 2017 season when J.J. and Merciless got hurt. The one player we haven't seen carry that front seven on their own is Whitney Merciless. Can Whitney Merciless do it? I don't know. And I don't want to find out. I don't want to put this team in a position where, if JJ gets hurt, they might be screwed up front. We need JJ and Clowney. We need them both. I think that's important for this defense. Now, you know how I said, not right now? This is what I would do with Jadeveon Clowney. Obviously, I would try to reach a long-term deal with Jadeveon Clowney. If that doesn't work out, then fine. You play him on the franchise tag this season. Next season, you try to negotiate again. If those negotiations don't work out, then you tag him next season and trade him. And that would be my plan with Jadeveon Clowney. I just don't think we're currently in a position to trade Jadeveon Clowney. We can't afford to create more holes on this team. Now, if the Texans were to trade Jadeveon Clowney this offseason, this is what I would take. And this is what it would take for me to be okay with it. Obviously, I want a first-round pick. A first-round pick for Jadeveon Clowney, as well as a third-round pick. Not only that, I also want to swap one of our second-round picks with one of their second-round picks, assuming that they're picking way earlier than us. If they're not picking earlier than us, then we'll just take their second-round pick and not even bother with the third. So it'd be a first and a second. Not only that, the Texans would have to go and sign Ndamukong Suh. Because again, if JJ gets hurt, I do not want Whitney Merciless being the only player up front that can generate some pressure. So go get Suh. Go get you another monster up front that can, put in work. And that's the only thing that would make it okay for me to trade Jadeveon Clowney right now. Next offseason, well, that's a different story. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But as of right now, I think Clowney has to stay. If you can't get a deal done, then you got to play him on the tag, man. And I'm pretty sure Clowney's going to hold out throughout OTAs and minicamp and probably even training camp. And I wouldn't blame him. I wouldn't blame him at all. I mean, players that get franchise tagged always hold out, so it's no big deal. Odds are, if Clowney is playing on the tag, he's going to show up week 1, so I don't think it's that big of a deal. Now, as far as the Matt Kalil contract goes, I've seen a lot of people mad about it on Twitter. And when I first seen it, I seen, $7.5 million for Matt Kalil. I was pissed. But then I seen the contract, and it's actually not that bad, But of course, I would prefer Matt Kalil not be on the team. But the contract's not that bad. It's actually structured pretty well. I mean, he gets $2.25 million fully guaranteed through the signing bonus. So that's how much he already got up front. I probably wouldn't have done that, but that's how much is fully guaranteed. So if we cut him, that's the amount he gets. We don't owe him a dime, so you wouldn't see anything close to that $7.5 million. Now, look, there's the way his contract's structured. So he's making $2.25 million right now. If he stays off the reserve list, so meaning he stays off the PUP, or PUP being the physical unable to perform list, or the IR, if he stays off those lists, he gets $3.25 million. So it brings the total to $5.5 million. That's how much he would get. If he does go on IR or on the PUP list, he makes an extra $1.5 million. Obviously not as much as the $3.25 million if he would have stayed off it. So then that'd make his salary for the year 3.75 mil. And he also earns $125,000 per game that he's on the 46-man roster. So, well, game day roster. So, if he were to play all 16 games, that would add up to 2 mil. So, yeah, like, the odds of him getting that 7.5 mil is slim to none. If he makes a team as a backup, he'll probably only make 5.5 mil if he doesn't get hurt. If he makes a team as a starter, then he'd probably make the full 7.5 mil unless he gets hurt along the way, goes on the IR and stuff, you know. So, like, really, he's not getting 7.5 mil. He isn't. Would I have even signed him? No, not at all. But the contract is structured well to where the Texans aren't screwing themselves. They're kind of motivating the guy to do more, and you know, that's fine with me. I would have preferred not to sign him, but again, that's fine. I don't mind them structuring the contract like that. But I know some people seen 7.5 mil and they automatically freaked out because I was one of them, and I know some people were still freaked out about it. Like, man, why are we paying that guy 7.5 mil? We're not, at least not yet, and I highly doubt this guy even makes a team. So yeah, I honestly wouldn't have given him the 2.25 million signing bonus. I probably would have given him like a 500K at most. I mean, the guy's not gonna make the team, dude. The guy's so bad. And yeah, maybe they brought him in for competition for Davenport, but I mean, if Davenport beats Matt Kalil, that don't really say much, you know? It would have been different if we brought in Donald Penn and then Davenport ended up beating Donald Penn. That would have been a different story, because if Julian Davenport beat out Donald Penn, then you'd know at least, you know, Julian Davenport is, you know, decent at least. But if he beat out Matt Kalil, then it just means, oh, you know, maybe Davenport isn't trash. Maybe he's just garbage. You know, like, it makes no difference. Like, you can't really measure anything if Davenport beats Kalil, because Kalil is bad. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the Clowney trade talks and the whole Matt Kalil contract situation. And yeah, that's all I have for you guys for today. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.